Okay, so let's again talk about how to draw roads. Want to make more examples. Так. So let's take this one first. So here very important point I'm doing is there is difference between some kind of theory of drawing stuff in perspective and actual application. So like which kind of system you need for drawing complex roads, some kind of fancy curved roads. You don't need too much, like, you know, like building double curve in a projection is kind of, you don't need this, it's too much, because yeah, it's kind of seems relatable, but I never actually seen a situation when I need to draw road this way, and I cannot imagine any situation when I need this kind of drawing of road. It's like, no, maybe it's like when you need to draw a frame with a virtual reality and you say like, hey, here is our 3D plan of our haste, and here we will have this road. I mean, it's just pointless. Skill itself is nice, it's good skill, it's useful in general, but for roads is not applicable, kind of. What is actually you need, so like I tell in the previous tutorial, actually it's about three things. One thing is perspective of space. Let's see. Space. Second, it's like a road shape or a ribbon. Let's say ribbon. So it's same like drawing it as a 2D shape, you know, just make some fancy, cool looking as an abstract shape, just on its own, without any space, without any perspective, just kind of playing around, making some interesting ribbon, like with a changing parameters. And number three is put objects on a surface of this road, right? So let's say objects. So and let's say I will make some demonstrations. So let's say this one. So here we have space. For this is like you making perspective grid, like you do for any other pictures, like I show in this channel. So we have y-axis for vertical lines, then we have z-axis for depth, so it's kind of this here. And then we have X axis for horizontal. So this kind of perspective of space here. Then we have shape of road. And then we have objects on the surface of this road. So here we can, like, all we need, first of all, to see it as a boxes. So like here we have all these bicycles, this like pack of bicycles as one box. Then we have second box here. Then we have box for vehicle. And here. So in this sequence you can draw any kind of road and any kind of scene, and it gives you more control kind of. So let's say here so I draw a perspective grid. And then hello Rob. Then I draw a shape of road, and it's kind of this way is very important, because with this approach you really can develop like interesting composition. You have more control over composition, effect, and you know, because like idea of perspective is not to make everything abide to perspective rules. Idea of perspective is just to be more literate and see how stuff will align with perspective, and also be able to adjust and make some kind of twists. So let's say it's kind of this shape of this kind of road. And then what with a road, like why I say ribbon. Ribbon is like, let's say it's like box, a very flat box, right? So this box will have this surface which you can subdivide on as many parts as you want, and this will be like perspective grid, like I told before, right? So you need to have this clear idea of perspective grids. Then this box, as any box, will have 3 axes: y-axis, this, let's say, x-axis, and z-axis, right? So it's merely 3 set of lines. So it's perspective grid on itself. And then this box, you kind of twist it, right? So, and we see how this grid will also twist. So same, we have this Y. Now you can sometimes it's remain like same direction or same tapering, or sometimes it's like this z-axis. You see we have this kind of change here, and x is kind of this here. So this is 3D quality of it, right? So, and this is like 3D quality of ribbon on itself without connection to space perspective grid. It's just its own property. It's like you know, it's like you have a cup, mug, right, and it's have like handle, so handle will have its own volume, and mug have its own volume, kind of this, and there it's kind of space, let's say table, and another space of a room, kind of where this table is placed, right? So you need to do this kind of studies and practice of a ribbon, just to, like with a drawing box, just to get this feeling of its properties. So you will see kind of this perspective grid of itself. So this is about ribbon. So when you do any shape, so it's like if 3D property of it is this kind of like perspective grids, right? 2D property of it, it's shapes. So it have just kind of this 2D shape, right? This one, and you can work with a ribbon or a rod in any sequence. You can start from shape, like I'm start here, right? And then you can, if you need, you can break it down, start to see it as a perspective grid. And I remind you again, like how to work with perspective grids. Perspective grid is just like you establish and tapering. So let's say you say one line here, other line here. So this is my x axis, right? So I establish tapering. Now I draw in between, and then here I extend. So I have lines for x-axis. Same I can do for y. Say one line for y-axis here, second line here. So it's already established this ratio, this tapering, and now I just extend it, right? Same with z. I say okay, one line for z here, other line here, and now I draw in between, and extend. So this is how you make perspective grid. And this perspective grid can be even, you know, like let's say like with ellipses. So you show ellipse here like this on this ratio, and then you show here ellipse with this ratio, and you now you have this kind of space, like transition of perspective between this stage and this stage, and you can just feel this transition with different ratio ellipses. And it's not about being like super accurate, it's just about being accurate enough to make it convincing, kind of. So I can make it like one object, for example, right? So this some kind of beer mug, let's say, right? So yeah, it's ellipse, right? But somehow it's same idea, like perspective grid with the straight lines. And same like I showed yesterday, same work with curves. So let's say I have this straight line here, and here is this straight line because it's just like in front of you, like let's say like my hand here, right? So it's straight, just like flat line here. Move here, it start open this side. Move here, it's open this side, right? So same, we have curve here. So I say, oh, it's like this. You see, like here, this curve here is straight line, here it's like this. And now I can draw in between, just make like this curve more flat and flatten it like this. And I can keep kind of expanding curvature. So it's kind of also perspective grid. And notice here, this example is particularly kind of good demonstration. Perspective grids is not about making it correct. It's also about, it's like kind of equally about creating space, because this like this curvature, right? Let's say some kind of surface. I can like trying to mirror it here, right? Or maybe I want to show it's like this is actually not symmetrical surface. Maybe I want to show how this curvature is changing, right? So and it's keep remaining to be kind of perspective grid as a transition of a space, kind of form in space. So and here like we have this situation, right? So I have this like middle line for this ribbon of a road, and then I can draw between this like side of a road and middle line of a road. So kind of creating this perspective grid for it. And I also can look for this z-axis, right? Perpendicular section. Lorna Jackson. So, and here also you can see like this, for example, this too. It's not only straight, it's also can turn. So let's say this. This kind of what I'm talking about here, right? We have space like this. So this is Z, something like this, right? That's why we apply this approach with a drawing, ribbon or this kind of road shape, because you can do whatever you want, because then after you can say like, okay, now I need to find what is the structure kind of this ribbon, right? So It can be like this, or or kind of this. So now I have ribbon, then I look for its grid, kind of its own perspective grid, or structure lines, cross section lines. You can use your favorite term for it. And if I want, I can like, if I want, for example, like so this is stage number 2, right? Like ribbon, and stage number 3, objects. Here, yeah. Stage number 3, objects. Yeah, like I say, it's about box, right? So, and you remember, you need to remember, like this box cannot curve. So box will be rigid. And let's see, let's say this car here, right? So what do you notice about this car? So road, this road, right, it looks like it's all like curved, but we have a rectangular car here. So for this rectangular car, it's like island of a flat surface kind of here. So, and this kind of very interesting. So for every car kind of you will need to draw, you need to see this flat surface on a curved shape of this ribbon. So, or even like if you want to draw car like this, kind of some. So it should be this kind of flat area for a car. And also why it's what you can also learn from references. It's you can show this car like this, so it's a very much flat, right? So it's not like this kind of like super foreshortened. It's like dynamic kind of fish eye car here, right? It's like it's very flat. It's like zoom, like long lens view. So it means like here it also can be something like this, like very flat car, which is also like I was long time confused in Akira about this, when when you can see people like standing here, for example. It's like wait a second, why you can see like he's leaning on the ground, right? Yeah, because it's kind of this how this illusion of space work, right? Like when we have this long lens, very long distance kind of compress visually, so it start to look like it's a short distance, when in reality from here to here it's a lot of space, it's very far distance. So is this one like vehicle, like how much can be, like 2 meters or something? It just perceive like kind of short compressed space. So this, I think you can also keep in mind, don't make cars too long on the roads. So let's say instead of kind of being confused with this curvature, right, you just make a box with its own perspective. It's just like snapped, it's connected to this surface, but it's leaving its own perspective. It's like having its own perspective grid, kind of this. So and sometimes it might be like let's say maybe we can create kind of this idea here is like this direction, right? It's z-axis with the vanishing point on the horizon line. So somewhere here outside of picture plane it's horizon line, so I can kind of create this perspective grid for this horizon line. So I will say this is kind of what perspective grid will be here. So on this y-axis, right? Y-axis, x-axis, and z-axis for here. So now I have these cars like towards they're like kind of parallel to ground, all these cars here, because they have vanishing point on the horizon line. But then this one here, oops, so it have this z vanishing point here is obviously below horizon line, because this horizon line is somewhere here and this vanishing point below horizon line. So it might be like confusing, overwhelming, all this stuff, if you're trying to make perspective like for everything, right? Instead, it's just you need to apply this perspective grid principle, which is like I show is just about 2 lines. When you know 2 lines, then you can build this perspective grid. Then you can say like, okay, now I can choose again like which will be other perpendicular lines for this, like Z and X, right? And I can say like where is vertical for this. Okay, this will be vertical. So I can draw my vehicle anywhere. It just must to have its own perspective grid. So, and here I say like, okay, any piece of road in anywhere, right? It gives me this set of convergent lines. Okay, so this one and this one. Okay, this already like perspective grid. So I can draw like car here with this perspective grid. Or we can have like a pack of bicycles, or it's running people can be like marathon, let's say. It's just important here, like I show, if you draw a long car, let's say like road going here, right? But your car is not curving if it's not cartoony, kind of funny car. So your car maybe like you want its contact with the road here, right? So you see it's like this kind of perspective of ribbon suggests you this direction, right? So you took this direction, but instead of following curvature, you make it straight like this, right? So you make it straight like this, you make it straight here, and this you take this direction and you apply it to this your perspective grid, and then you say like, okay, on this part here, right, you can imagine it like a box. Let's say it's like, oh, there's this kind of box form here, right? So this is give you y axis, and instead of following curvature, when y axis will be changed, kind of this, right, like will be curved, instead of following curvature, you maintain this rigid y axis. So you have this like box perspective grid here. So you can draw this like long car, let's say it's like truck kind of, right? So he's just like flying over edge of this hill. Yeah, linear curvature. So you see like road goes here, and based on this curvature of road, you create perspective grid for vehicle. So I hope it's kind of makes sense for you. I hope it's clear here, right? It's kind of like requires this understanding of perspective grids, and then when you really practice perspective grids and you understand how it works, it should be clear, kind of should be obvious here. So, and same time, like when you have this, you can make this kind of box, right? You can also rotate. So you can make in any angle. You can make rotate angle of this perspective grid. So, and you can rotate your vehicles on the road too. So it's like it will be not just a randomly drawn vehicle, right? It will be like really perspectively properly built in perspective. So you see, it's like very subtle, very nuanced way how to arrange techniques so it's more convenient to apply in actual work. So instead of sit and like taking ruler and building this vanishing points with this will be crazy, right? I give you sequence how to make it fluently, and all these grids, right? You don't need to draw it as a grid all the time. You just may apply this grid when is necessary. So let's see. Okay, let's take this one. Okay, let's do this one. So say, okay, this is my ribbon here, and I can just say like, okay, it's already give me idea of what kind of space here, what kind of perspective here, so I can just draw like this. No, so here I have my car. So I don't really need to draw all these grids. I already have a vision. I can see these grids without drawing, right? But if I need, okay, I can draw. I can break it down and say, okay, this will go curvature. So here we have this kind of environment. Here I can put building. Let's see. Here also can make building. Here even can be like some turn. Put whatever, so it just gives you this control, and you become more resourceful. So just in these cases, when you don't have visible horizon line, when you don't have visible vanishing points, when you have so many complex nuances, right? What should you do? You can be like totally lost and feel helpless, want to cry, you know, and I say, don't cry, everything okay, you can do it. Just follow my guidance, follow my steps. Do as I say.
What do you do?
I say what I mean, and I do what I say.
So in here, look like how many cool stuff you can do when you can play with shapes, but you also understand perspective. Right, and you see it's kind of same stuff, right? So you can make it graphic, you can make it realistic, you can do anything you want. Yeah.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
So all stop us from became like crazy super masters is just our laziness, because we practice not enough. Need to more practice. Need to more practice, like applying theory. So okay, now I go to this one, because this should be easy for you right now. You understand, right? What is it? Okay, anyway, let's draw for you. So what we have here, now you're adult artist, now you grow up, now you're not amateur anymore, right? So you don't want to draw picture to show, like, mommy, look, I can draw circle. You see it, and it's like, I want to draw something crazy, right? I want to draw something what not been done before, like new kind of picture, right? So, and you, like, this guy is like, oh, I want to just make this cool like shape, right? So he kind of thinking about the shapes, and like I say in the previous tutorial, like it's this grace curve and also convergent lines, right? So we have this kind of tapering instead of boring parallel, and this dynamic, like tapering here, you see, tapering, right? Then tapering here, tapering here. It's like very cool, very clever stuff. And then he say, like, yeah, I just, with this simple middle line, I actually like given it this like quality of space, you know. So now it's really became like more as a road in a space with this like simple line in the center, in the middle. It's crazy, it's very interesting, because now with this line explain us what is this line about, right? Which is also, now you can see like this curve line, right? And this curve line. This kind of crazy helicopter here. And then it's like I told before, right? Now for a car, you just think about what is a box kind of perspective for this car. So, and I say like, so it's like this is a horizon line here. So box perspective for our car here is kind of this. So it's like upshot So we can, because we even can see little from the bottom of a car, right? So we have, oh, he even have vanishing point on a plane. Like here I little change composition. So anyways, have this Z vanishing point for a car, for this box. Then this y-axis for Dutch tilt, not Dutch tilt. And so this y and this x. So we have a box for a car, and just drawing car here. We can draw any cyberpunk kind of crazy car. It's like from Total Recall. Here's this crazy driver. I forget what he was talking all the time. Some crazy stuff. Maybe we'll have like some kind of rocket launcher. No, anyway, you kind of see what I mean. So then we can go to this, right? Yeah, 1990. You mean this Total Recall is the 1990s? Yeah, it seems like 1990s. So you see, it's kind of like this very interesting. I especially love this kind of stuff when it's going like this and then we'll whoosh, very sharp flat surface, and again like whoosh, this kind of swoosh. So only way to draw this is to draw this at first is a shape. And then you can break it down to any perspective you want. You break it down and get to the chopper. Get into the chopper. So, to the chopper. Because here is kind of this like Dutch T, no, just curves here. So you see, like we have, yeah, maybe here is more sharp. Here you can make more curved. And this is kind of, again, this beauty kind of the stuff is how much resources you can focus on making cool shape on itself, right? This is what we need in our work. It's this ability to be like laser focus on specific parameters. So it's like simultaneously you need to keep whole picture in your head. In any moment, jump into like very particular details. Yeah, my favorite was Schwarzenegger is Twins. I think it's kind of in my childhood. It was, I think, a very good message, very influential movie. Так. So let's say like this one, right? It can be like, can make here even more narrow. Kind of ninja swooshes here. So it's kind of interesting, like this creating dynamic, how, you know, like saying like going slow, then it's like here is slow, then it's like speeding up, and here's like whoosh, like this. It's really perceived like this on emotional subconscious level. It's like like this. Hello, Chris. Так. And then you can look for the space, like, okay, we can say we can make horizon line here, then this will be like uphill, and this we can make like following vanishing point Z here, right? So no necessary follow reference in every aspect. Yeah, Danny DeVito, this was one of Twins. So you don't need to follow reference in every detail, right? But like here, maybe I want especially like maybe I like this environment, just like here, you know, I can borrow some patterns like stones, sand and stuff, and I want to borrow this shape also. Which one I don't need to copy exactly, I just want to copy some of its effects, kind of, right? So if I have horizon line here, it means in my scenario this road is parallel to ground, right? So it's have vanishing, because it's follow vanishing point on the horizon line. Then this road here, it's like downhills here, because this vanishing point is here. And then this one, it's kind of close, so it might be parallel to ground. It's kind of might be parallel to ground. Anyway, so I can also make it as a like a being like a you know, like a bridge, or how it's called, freeway, elevated road. So kind of this stuff. Both ground and here like rooftops. Just again, you can like double check ratio, like in I was talking where I was making another drawing. So don't make buildings too long maybe here, because it seems like it's very compressed because they're far away. So maybe this will be like half like this. And same like here, it can be like this grid, so I can draw cars here. And here we have this as a grid, and I can say like maybe it's like this, and y-axis like this. Or also let's say here is actually more this. So let's see. Let's draw funny car here, and on this part of road, let's do like kind of SUV. Or let's make it Cadillac, kind of. So it's ooh. Yeah, or let's say this one, for example. So you see this kind of box. So this will be perspective for this car. So if you draw, it's like a grid. It will be something like this. But this will be like too many lines, right? No need to draw. And this will be actually only applied to this kind of part of road. About here, so maybe even smaller. Oh, cool. Hello, Conta. So it's not necessary kind of to draw all this perspective grid. Instead, we have this, and we say, oh, okay, this piece of ribbon, and I'm making this piece of ribbon. I draw grid. So I can draw one car here, and if I want, I can draw other car here going other direction. Stuff like that. Or if like here, like for environment, yeah, okay, maybe I'll show you this one. Also for environment, here we can say this probably y-axis is here. So if I draw somebody walking on this road, he will more like this one, right? Because for a balance, human need to follow this environment y-axis, not y-axis of a ribbon, because y-axis for a ribbon here is kind of this something. Так. So like this, so cool. Так. So here we can, let's build like perspective grid for space. So we have y-axis like this, and then horizon line. So we can see it's definitely below this point. So hard to say. It's maybe here. Anyway, let's do it here. So here will be horizon line. Yeah, we can, because you can say a y-axis is about like direction of gravity, right? It's kind of like direction of this gravity force to kind of center of a planet, right? So if like, if kind of we have planet Earth, then it's kind of y-axis will be like this, right? But it's if we're talking about general space. But idea of perspective grids, this like y-axis, z and x, it's more about box logic. So it applies not only to space, it also applies to any object itself. So let's say here I have this, or okay, anyway, let's say like I have this my view from window, right? So I have horizon line I can see in this, for me, y-axis like this, then z-axis vanishing point here, and x-axis will be kind of like this, x-axis, right? So what if there is a house, and this house is not following this vanishing point, it follow other vanishing point, like this, let's say. So now it have like x here, I don't know, let's say just for example, so this will be x and z for this house, and like this, kind of. So we can look inside kind of through walls in this house. So now in this house we have x-axis going here and z-axis going here. And inside house we have a sculpture, some kind of like contemporary art. And this contemporary art is like box standing on the edge. And for this box will be like y-axis will be here, and x-axis will be here, and z-axis will be here, you know. So it's kind of relative. And what I'm talking is for ribbon, its y-axis can be like this, right? So it's like its own y-axis. So while we have like for a space around this ribbon, we have y-axis like this. It's for environment perspective. But for object perspective, we have y-axis, because its y-axis is a feature of y-axis is perpendicular to z and x. So y here is 90 degree to x, and it's also 90 degree angle to z. So it's a box logic kind of principle. Так. So here for space, basically, because it's so random, like we have like this natural kind of volume for hills. It's kind of this. Again, it's sort of perspective grid for a hill. You know, because it's give me its idea of form. And then we have this ribbon. So this is like x-axis on a ribbon. this like a Z axis. On a ribbon. So, and then car is just doing its own thing. Only what is important for me is just make sure this car connected to surface. So if I want to place it here, for example, right, I have this kind of, in my drawing it's look not like a box, right? So I just need to make it like a more like a box form. So let's say like this, like a rectangular, and then I say okay, where will be Z? Will be kind of this. So this Y axis, this let's say like Z axis, and this X axis. Так. So same is kind of like here, right? We have on a road here, this is Z axis, right? Also this is Z axis. So it's like it's constantly changing. It's again it's a Z, and this Z, and this is a Z. While on this road, y-axis remains same direction. It's just vertical. It's just vertical. For this ribbon, y-axis remains same direction. And x-axis for a road, it's like this. Here is like it's not really clear for me. It's not change or it's very slightly change. So this X, yeah, maybe it's like just slightly changing. So for car, instead of like confusing with all this change of the angles, right? I just choose one. I say, okay, this is Z. This, you see, just rigid structure, rigid perspective grid with a rigid Z direction. And this is X for car, and this is Y here. Actually, Y for a car will be tilted because it's on a tilted surface, right? So like here, let's say here, I take this one and I can say, okay, it's little tilted because I don't want to draw skewed box. Only if I want to make some kind of cartoony effect, right? But if it's not cartoony effect, then box is box. Box should be rigid structure. So this kind of topic is like advanced perspective, that's for sure, because if you don't practice enough drawing like environments with perspective grid, boxes, buildings, all this stuff, this is actual issue, an actual thing you need to practice, and then kind of return to this topic. Because in reality this is how it works. Sometimes you just don't have enough resources, kind of data in your head to really understand how to work with this. Так, so I can change and if I want to draw building here, let's say, because I have horizon line, right? So let's also finish. So I have horizon line here, and I can make perspective grid for buildings here. So let's see. And maybe here like helicopter. Rodrigo asking like, what is my learning routine? Or don't know, like don't know how to. Just repeat many times and draw like similar drawings but with little change. It's like I don't have like fixed routine for learning. It's like I have like okay, maybe I know how to answer. So I have couple sketchbooks which I dedicate for different topics. So like drawing hands, drawing perspective, let's say, study different artists. So let's say here this is like my sketchbook. It's just DIY. I just connect a bunch of paper from some documents and I just fill it with different materials. I can find, you know, some reference, some books about drawing hands. So if I see some useful tips, some interesting ideas, like here, like how to form of a finger, bones, or some kind of structural elements. So I make in this kind of studies, like you know, I don't know how to say. It's like you are in a lecture in a university and you're making notes for yourself, so you can later look it back, refresh your memory, kind of this, right? So I make this kind of study books for myself, collecting interesting ideas, interesting solutions. And also I have a lot of paper where I just practice it. So it's like, let's say before I draw it here, I make a couple drawings on a very cheap paper just to make sure I understand how it works, and I choose which image I want to keep in my sketchbook, so it will be like less mess, it will be more like concentrated information. So, and like I say, I have like for different topics, like before I did out perspective, or study different artist styles, study like how to compose frame, let's say composition, like for storyboarding, for example. So not just write or draw whatever I find, but choose which ideas I find very important and I want to make notes of it, so I will memorize and repeat it later. Because like you draw it once and then you forget it, then you take the sketchbook, you open again and you're like recalling it like a Schwarzenegger, and it's like chopper, and and you take some bunch of paper or like some very cheap sketchbook, like DIY again, like this, and you just make a lot of drawings of it. And like here I have, like right now I study how to draw shapes, because I find it's really like I'm lack of good shapes drawing, so I kind of making shapes studies in this sketchbook. So let's say like this, you see, kind of like just practice kind of how, because like I have this issue now, I think it's like very common for people from like art college or academies, like nobody teach me like how to design form. We're like always like draw kind of this like random shapes without any design, right? So now I learning like how to design a figure with like gesture lines and with this like you know, so we have like straight lines, curved lines, or we have these like grace lines, stuff like this. So also exploring like how to draw like features, like face features, maybe like which way I personally prefer to do it, because like if when I make comic book, it's better if I just have my you know, it's like kind of style Bible, you know, so where it's like it's just my fixed type of how I draw noses and eyes and stuff like that. So then I was thinking like, oh, I can make tutorial about roads, because a long time I was planning it, so I sit and I just make some notes and I think how I will explain it in the future, how I will explain it in the video. So before I'm making like tutorials, I also make a lot of notes. It's just, you know, it should be your passion. Don't think about like how to draw less. Think about how to draw more clever and how to be more nuanced with the subject. So then this will be like one type of drawing. It's like drawings in the pursuit of understanding on insights, you know. And other kind of drawings is when you kind of want to more establish these recent discoveries, like I studied this, how to draw this kind of stylized eyes. So I was just like calligraphy kind of, you know, just repeating these shapes. And it's very interesting because here we have this line, right? Then we have this line, and pupil kind of need to be like here very closely to this, right? So we have like very narrow shape here changing like this inside shape, right? Same here, I have this one, and when I draw pupil, it should make this like negative space between pupil and eyes edge, some kind of this one. So, and draw it like 10 or 100 times just until it became like a fluent for me, you know. This kind of my routine. It's like this what I always say. Hey, this is what I always say.
What do you do?
I say what I mean, and I do what I say.
So this is what I do. I say, when you learn new stuff, okay, now you draw it, and draw until you will able to draw it properly, right? So it's like at the beginning it's like, oh, I cannot, it's so wrong, everything wrong, I cannot draw it. So you draw again and again and again and again, and oh, finally I can do it, right? Nice, now finally you can do it, and now make it 100 more times. So this is kind of what is routine. Just don't stop on a moment when it feels like you already know how to do it. This is just moment when you just, you know, you just hold it for a moment, for this, for today. Tomorrow it will be already, you will lost grip of it. You will don't have it anymore tomorrow. So to have it, to really have it inside you, to have it like part of you, you need to repeat it. So then it will really like engraved kind of in your brain, right? And this why is kind of motto of this channel is like, don't be lazy, because it's just this kind of laziness. Our brain is lazy. He avoid this routine work, you know. He's like want to feel like he know everything. It's like you already understand everything, you know. Just don't be trapped with these illusions. Так, so let's say, oh, here also show. Because like you know, everybody talking about like how to improve faster and stuff, right? And then after many years you will figure out eventually, you will figure out that all these years you was just too lazy with your routine practice. You should just draw more, and if you just like physically draw more, physically make more repetitions, more practice, you will have much quick results. Because all your this like struggle, it's like I don't know, like 90% based on just lack of practice. Just sit and you look at this, you're like, oh, it's like students or somebody showing his work, and you see like he even like on the stage when he kind of like not confident with his line, you know, it's like I'm not sure how to hold my pencil, you know. So, bro, come on, you even like, how many you draw? Like one picture in a week? I mean, this is your main problem. You just, in general, you almost never draw. So just like, or you start to draw like more often, or just forget it. Because if you want to improve with this attitude, when you make like one drawing in a week, then you will like improve like 100 here, you know. Like it just will take like forever for you to get to any decent result. It's not because you don't know some secret technique, it's just you freaking don't draw. Where is your work? Where is your dedication, kind of, right? And everybody kind of talking about this, like how to improve faster, how to like, but you can see kind of their underlying question is like kind of like, how can I improve faster with this my routine of making like one picture in a week? Like with drawing one picture in a week, you will never improve. This kind of like short answer for this. So again, let's say like start here. We have environment, right? Environment, perspective. So here we can say, let's consider at this case, like I don't want to talk about perspective grid for space. Maybe I want to approach environment as objects just on a bigger scale. So, and I have here this object, kind of mountain, like a pyramid. So say, and this pyramid has this kind of perspective. So we also learning, it's important skill we need to learn if we want to have any decent result. Otherwise just quit, just don't try to be artist if you don't want to dedicate yourself, right? So if you want to any decent result, you need to learn how to work a lot, how to draw a lot, and you really learn it. You really learn it because like it at first it feels like unnatural. At first you think like when you draw little, you feel like you draw a lot, but then you like train. You start to get like gain momentum, and you like draw more and more and more and more and more, and then you feel this like urge to draw, like you cannot not draw anymore. And then it feels like very easy to draw a lot at certain moments. Same kind of like a physical exercise. Same at first, like you die after 10 minutes of exercise, and then you can like 1 hour or 2 hour you can train and you enjoy it, but you need to get there. It's not something you get from beginning. And this what noobs, like amateurs, they don't understand. They will look an athlete, right, and they'll like, for him it's easy, look, he's enjoy himself. No, you're like it's a lot of kind of a lot of struggle to get to this point. This is kind of part of your reward, and still you continue to get to your edge, kind of, right, to push yourself to your limits from time to time, because it's also kind of boring to stay on the same level all the time. You want to go farther, kind of. So let's say we have here this 2 mountains, then I cut it kind of here, and I draw this ribbon of a road, just as a flat shape. And only then, so it's kind of interesting, it's some kind of metaphysical here. Only then, after you really dedicate, you make this like decent effort, which is like, it's really a lot, you really need to dedicate a lot. And then you start to see something kind of happen, like you start to see it's like I don't know how to call it, art or industry, some kind of art, I don't know, this kind of subject which you work with, right, start to like giving you something, like a miracle, kind of miracles start to happen. And this, I believe, kind of, this is when is actual art is happening. It's when you get in this synchronicity with the sphere which you're working with. Because there is certain amount of your knowledge, of your effort, and there is certain amount of some kind of miracle which just happen, and you don't know how it happened. You don't know how it works. It's like you're drawing characters and they're alive, they look alive. You don't know, they're like just came from nowhere. Like recently I was drawing some character, just like inventing character, right, and it's like, it's really like appeared to me, it's like I witness born of a person, like just like I just see how character just appear from nowhere, from emptiness, and now I see it's like alive kind of creature in my imagination. You know, I see kind of I can draw it, and it will be like a real being. Kind of, it's like, wow, it's crazy. Like, you cannot make it. It's just somehow it just appears to you, and a lot of kind of interesting nuances like this. But you cannot steal it, you cannot cheat it, you cannot hack it. It's only happen like from respect to your work, you know. It's some kind of like universe works this way or something like that. It just sees like, oh, this guy is really like dedicated, he's really loves the stuff, I appreciate it, and then it start to kind of give you something. And all other people who's like striving to be artists, it's like, look at me, I'm an artist, let's make exhibitions, let's call each other artists, and you know, making photos for social media and stuff, like, it's me and it's my picture, look at me, I'm artist, you know, this kind of stuff. Yes, they all look like a grifters kind of, I don't know, like they only want something for themselves. When this is more than that, it's not just like something you want to get, it's something you want to contribute, you want to dedicate yourself to. It's some kind of, you know, it's a culture, right? It's a tradition, like super old, like super ancient tradition. You can belong to, you can dedicate yourself to this tradition. It's not just kind of possession or some kind of toy. So don't be lazy, don't be lazy.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
Так. So it's like one approach, which is like I disrespect and I find like just miserable kind of, it's kind of selfish in a weak way. It's like when we say like, oh, I want to be artist, I want everybody see me as some kind of culture person, like highly spiritual person, or what, look at me, I'm different, I'm special, I can draw in and stuff, right? This is like very misguided kind of view. Another one is you witness something amazing. You say like, what is that? And just like so, like you in the awe. You say like, it's insane. It's amazing. Like, I'm so happy I exist to witness such thing, you know, to witness such kind of existence, presence of something like this. And yeah, this you can call tradition, culture, right? This tradition have a long roots, a very ancient thing. So, and you can not only witness it, you can belong to it, you can contribute to it, you can become part of it. This is cool stuff, you know. And how you look, like what people think about you, like as a person, is kind of is a different thing. It's kind of like it's so much kind of out of like don't make any sense, you know. It's kind of nature, kind of, and your like shallow, insensitive nature, kind of like you have no idea actually what is happening. You cannot see what's happening around you. Same like, you know, like people like who look at children and say like, oh, children, there's like they're making sounds and they're like eating and stuff. I was like, seriously? This how you see children? Oh my god, it's like kind of you have problem with your head, you know. Don't have any other explanation for this. Because like when me, like I was first time see children, it's like, oh my god, it's so crazy, like I cannot believe it's possible, you know, because here is a dude, like so kind of like fine and kind of amazing creature. It's like, just how is this possible? It should kind of blow your mind. Так. Okay, так. So yeah, anyway, just make some more demonstration of this. If you have questions or anything. Так. So, like when I was teach in art school, I have like many children students, And I understand why children drawings considered good and often better than drawings of adult people who kind of might have better skill, but something is lacking there. So what do you think is it? What is making children drawings good? Any opinion? Just write your opinion here in a comment or in a chat, and then I tell you my opinion, like what I discovered when I was teaching. Yeah, I received too many answers in invisible chat. So it's a very interesting and very simple reason for this. Children's kids drawings, right, with all this like lack of skill and primitive kind of so they're very primitive, but just one thing makes them sometimes even like perfect and real art. It's kind of surprisingly, right? Like you can really call some of their drawing real art because they have awe and wonder. They have awe and wonder. These children, they wonder by things. It's like, say, look at that, you know, like you give him like pencils and he's just like, paper, pencil, whoa, you know, it's like, wow. And he just like, say like, it's crazy. And we give him watercolor, it's like, whoa, look at this. I'm so amazed by what is just happening right now, you know. There's just like wonder about everything and they in a constant awe with stuff. No, I mean, and also it's amplified by teacher, because like me, like I love my subject too, right? So it's like I have this awe in me, so I can kind of inspire people, right? And I can inspire children. And when they have this like awe as a default mode, when they like to wonder with stuff around, it just get amplified. So, and I think like children, like they literally like was first time in their life use gouache on a paper, right? And the stuff what they're doing is like I just was watching like one like girl like she paint with gouache, and it's like so much attention. It's like was like 100 like 500% of attention to process, you know, like super awareness. She was just like put like brush in a palette, like mix colors. It's like wow, like painting with this, and you cannot fake it. And this is the core. This is most important. And then now look, you grow up, right? You grow up, like, so what are you living for? Like, where is your interest? Where is your awe? Where is your wonder? Like, do you even wonder with anything? And then if you really wonder with something, when really something is important for you, so try to figure it out. Don't like turn away from it just because it doesn't work from a first attempt. And this is how you improve in art. Base and focus on this. It's just like, oh, I want to make this stuff. How can I do it? And you keep kind of trying, you keep trying, you try this way, you try that way. This is like most like direct and the most efficient way, and it's most like personal kind of for you, because nobody know exactly what will work for you best, right? But when you have this eager and direction, you will kind of find data and you will put it in a perfect kind of puzzle, like which will work out for you perfectly. Just don't be like a donkey in front of a truck, right? Like, I forget how it's called, right? You need to be this kind of engine. This motivation should go from inside of you. And you can also kind of grow it. You can also like when you listen to it, and when you might kind of let's say you support this motivation, you support your own action based on your like true interest, your like passion, right? And it's not about feeling good. It's about get something real. Like you really want to. You really want to kind of make this stuff. I don't know like how to say it else. You want to make it happen, kind of, let's say. Так. Same, let's say, truck here. Because, I mean, to be honest, again, like from my experience, from my observation, I can say children have some special ideas. What kind of ideas they might have? They don't know life. They don't have much experience. They don't have any ideas. All kind of all valuable stuff as they can make, it's only, well, like let's say creative wise, right? Like as a art, as a picture. It's just because of this like sincere and deep feelings, kind of this awe and wonder. When you do something which is really have some meaning for you, like you're not just like, oh, you know, like now it's so many people, like, and the young generation especially, like, I don't know, maybe it's just like a lot of people this way. They just want to comment, like say, okay, I want to be artist, what should I do? Say, okay, take pencil. Say, okay, I take pencil, what should I do next? Say, okay, you take this pencil, You put it on a paper. Say like this. You say yes, like this. Say, okay, what should I do next? You touch a paper. Oh, okay, I touch paper. What should I do next? You move pencil on a pencil. Okay, I don't know what to do next. So you do repeat. So, oh, okay. Okay, I'm tired. You tired? Say, yeah, I'm tired. It's too difficult. Okay, I don't know what to say next. It's go to sleep, I guess. It's just like zero in integrity and interest, you know. Так. So and this one, yeah, this is so all this 3 roads is like a curved perspective grid. Так. So again, it's like it's better if you start with a general shape at first, because whole kind of beauty or excitement of it, impact of it is just like you're in half intuitively you building this like a shape, like a ribbon of a road surface, right? So when you have shape and you say like, oh, I want to have more construction of it, right? So then you start to breaking it down, and then you might need like some extra lines here, extra structural lines, right? And then in this case, like I say, you have this center line, you have this side, and now you draw in between like some kind of transition. So just this simple way, without vanishing points, without overthinking this, right? Because eventually, anyway, this what you will make. You will make this kind of perspective grid if you will try to find vanishing points. And same you can do for surface around this road surface. You can just continue. Yeah, and somehow also like a big part of why teenagers so inert and like I don't know, like commoners, maybe let's say they're so like lack of initiative, right? Lack of own motivation, self-motivation. It's an education system for sure. It's making a lot of impact with that, because like what I seen from my again observation is like education systems, they're like they ask from you a lot, but like it's like a lot of control, but no actual results. So children, like the students in the school, they need to like prepare for tests, they need to make homework. They make homework, they don't really understand what they're doing. They just do what teacher tells them. They say, okay, you do this, they do this. They don't need it, they don't interest in it. They only want to be good children. They just want to be good for their parents, and like they don't want to be ridiculed, kind of, right? So you kind of you establish this kind of attitude when people doing stuff without actual reason for it, and without any real results. Like when you go like in the old system, like Renaissance, kind of like if you want to be artist, you go to artist studio and you became apprentice, right? You go to some workshop and you became apprentice of master. So you study at work. You learn some actual skills, and you see result. You see effect of your efforts. Like you study, now you can do it, and now this is your work. This is what you done. What kind of work is a test? It's a nonsense. It's just waste of time. Like they sit, like study, like into late hours to be able to get these grades for a test. It's just stupid. And so they like get overwhelmed and tired from all this for all these years. And after, they just want to relax. They just want to rest. They're like, I don't want to do anything. Leave me alone. This kind of serious issue, I think. So I think it's better like withdraw children from school. Now as they all, it's a waste of life. Так, same this one. Let's see. So same again, I can start just with shapes. So, and again, it's like you're looking for interesting abstract value of a shape. Так. Let's say kind of this, right? So I can just imagine here, like it's not clear, it's like a line, maybe it's going like this, center line. And then just in between and here in between. And I can subdivide as many as I want. And then I can draw any kind of car here. I can do whatever I want with environment here. So let's say car here. This kind of pickup truck. So I think like instead of going to some mediocre school where kind of there is no passion teacher, because this is super important. You don't want it be random people. You don't want like some average kind of bored in life or angry at life person like who's just reading from a book for your kids. You need people who have real passion to work what they're doing. Yeah, so of course it's good when you have this community, when you have like neighbors, mathematicians, physicians, and like who's there, like chemistry professors, Nobel Prize and stuff, right? This is also a reason why we should improve our communities, why we need to like support culture, right? So communities will have more such people who interest in something in life, not only using their position for their own benefit. And when you have this kind of community, yeah, it's kind of you inviting these people to your house. They're talking about mathematics, they're talking about science, and your children listen. They recommend your books. They like playing like games, which is actually improve kind of thinking. Like me, I was studying in a school. It was like the most lame place ever. There's like my teachers, there was all this kind of, they hate children, and you can see it. Like before I was like in my childhood, I don't understand it, but after like I work teacher myself, like I see it clearly. Like I see now, because some of my colleagues, kind of some teacher I know, they tell me this directly, straightforward. Say like, I hate children, I work for money. Do you want your children to study from these people who hate them? That's weird, right? Some kind of psychopath who just find this like easy job for him, because it's not heavy, kind of. You don't need to kind of break your back on this job. This is how they look at it. So again I have this shape. And then I find middle line. And then I make it like gradient here, like a perspective grid, kind of. So, and this is kind of routine, right? This is kind of practice. You can do, it's in general good exercise for drawing shapes, drawing lines. See you, Derek. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Same here, you can make like kind of like a grid for this. sides, like a heels here. And then I just drop a box, maybe like this, or like this, or very far. Yeah, and the same with this one, same principle. So for members and patrons, you can join my Discord, and I will drop kind of this reference to Discord. It's kind of like I collect this reference from different places, so you can also practice it. I think it's very good practice to draw a couple pictures like that, or just use it as a reference for your illustration, so you can just make some picture with that. So like I did one of illustration, let me find it. Like what's this? Robot on a motorcycle. Same, so kind of steal this road, but put motorcycle instead of car. So if you want to have this reference, go to my Discord. But if you go to my Discord, write about yourself. Who are you and how you get to Discord? Like you're member of channel, or you're from Patreon, and don't shy to show your works, because again it's just like you need to detach from this view of your art, your drawings, your work as is some kind of status thing, like it's about you. Yeah, partially it's about you, but don't better if it's not. Like put more your attention into subject away from yourself. Look, improve and discover kind of new stuff, you know, go to new dimensions, new level. This is what your goal, not to like show how great you are. Okay, it's kind of this. maybe even more round. So you see it's like kind of about this shape on every level. This is kind of interesting, challenging on its own, just as a 2D form. We don't even start talking about perspective yet, but it's already very interesting and requires some work. So it's here we have this zigzag. And here notice how this curved shape became more and more narrow. It should be like little, at least little by little have this narrowing. Так. So, and more you draw stuff like this, right, you just more open your new skill. Then after you can like, wow, like, you know, start to make like more and more crazy shapes. They all just came out from you, and you start to jazz, kind of make jazz improvisations with your drawings. It's a kind of, it's a path for being virtuose, like being super like intuitive master kind of your craft, right? It's through like meticulous work, through meticulous and big lens, big volume of work. This is only way, this is how it works, no other way. No hacks, no cracks, no specs. Etc. Let's make here like I'll make like a heels here. Yeah, maybe I will do like a video about Fred Moore, like show like his designs, like how he compose. This kind of example of mastery of shapes, and just like how crazy you can go. Here's some kind of Möbius pattern. So, and again, like you see, I just scan more in betweens, and this will be my perspective grid kind of for a ribbon of this road. And if I want, can make this axis lines. So, and now I can put car anywhere here. This can be like maybe closer. Here, like on this part, roads like going up a little bit, so I can do both way. I can do like car here is a little tilted downwards like this, right? So you see it's like a drawing box kind of this way. So this is a rooftop, this is front, right? And here it's like car is going away upwards like this. Так, and same here. Some car as a box. So kind of consider this system, which is just bunch of basic stuff. It's like very essential techniques, like how to draw a bunch of tapering lines, you know. But it's some kind of like fine-tuning is a core here, and this fine-tuning is what you get from practice. It's like, you know, it's like you can maybe in the first class you can learn and remember all ballet move, like, you know, all this, let's say, kind of positions in a ballet they have, but it doesn't make you ballet dancer. To become ballet dancer you need to make a lot of adjustments, a lot of refinery, like to fine-tune these moves to make them fluent, relaxed, and also it's like relaxed and firms in like firm in the same time, right? Also make you able to do them in a sequence and don't don't be slow, to be like a nimble, quick. A lot of this like fine-tuning small aspects, which is kind of line within quality, right? So this is kind of all about learning and improving. It's like realization that is all about essential skills, and all problem and all lack we have is just lack of practice of these skills. Because like when you practice enough, when you like put more and more work in it, more and more like meticulous work in this essential practice, more you will just notice how stuff is just became better. You just start to do it better, you just start to see it better, and like you just, if you find yourself on the next level, and it's like, wow, okay, so I'm here now because I built strong foundation, because I firm my essentials, you know, I like reinforce my knowledge, reinforce my essentials. Okay, so this is kind of for today, and then I have like two artists. I will do like 2 streams about these 2 artists. Now I just make a demonstration. So this Rob Boynton, British, I think he's British, yeah, artist, and he has this kind of crazy perspective with the crazy roads. Look at that. So, and he drew it, he painted from outdoors. He go outdoors, place his tripod with oil paint, and he just like exaggerated. He like make actual kind of angles, make them extreme. So, and I will make a live stream, I will make tutorial, break it down to show how you can do the same, how you can build this kind of crazy views. Let's say like this one. It's very cool, very smart. And other Wayne Thibault. So he been as like influence for Rob Boynton. Human atelier. Yeah, you can call it dynamic perspective, but it's not important. It's just like some stuff guys have passion to, It's just like you go there and it's like, I want to make it crazy, like I want it to be insane. I want to blow your mind with my perspective. This is what he's doing, kind of, It's just like I was talking before. It's just you have sincere like this, like and amaze to this stuff, and you want to share it, you want to deliver it to viewer. And I don't see any books or theory about this. It's just dudes doing their stuff. They just like, I want to make a crazy stuff, and nobody tell you how to do it. You don't find any books about this. You just try, and like try and error, right? So you just try until you can do it. And before this happened, I'm sure it was like ton of work, like thousands of sketches, attempts, like some ugly drawings, until he eventually like figure out for himself how he can skew perspective, how he can like make these crazy compositions. This is kind of what it's about. It's just like personal stuff. And for me, yeah, I love this kind of stuff myself. And like I say, through interesting topics and through interesting examples, I actually like teach essentials. I don't teach any fancy tricks. It's just another and another approach to introduce essential skills and look from another angle to same boxes, perspective grids. It's all the time same stuff. Perspective grid, boxes, and 2D shape design, because it's all like this. Grace curve, this like rhythms, this simple and complex and stuff, kind of this. And there's like big, medium, small. It's just about your personal motivation, right? You need to have this like drive inside you, and like rock and roll inside you, kind of, right? This drive and like sincere awe with something. We combine with tools. So this like tools, essentials, plus your passion, right? Which is not about being excited. It's not about like, oh, passion. It's me like I need to happy. I need a la 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 la. I'm so happy. I'm happy. No, it's not about happy. It's about being dedicated. It's me like it's so important for you. You're so attracted, attached to this stuff, so you cannot let it go. You will make it happen. You will like create. You make it done. You make it exist. You want to make it happen. Like some kind of mathematician, like who have this like it's crazy people, mathematicians, right? Like you have some idea, he wants to find some formula or some answer, and he just like diving into this crazy stuff nobody can understand. Normal people cannot ever understand mathematicians. These people like too far. They're gone. They're somewhere like parallel universe. It's like And it's just nobody can give you that. You need to have it and you need to grow it. Like I believe like as long as you alive, you have it. This is kind of like spark of life, right? But as artists, we need to cherish it and we need to grow it. This is the core kind of. And it's not about being happy and funny and stuff. No, it's about living meaningful life when you're doing something what is really makes sense, or it's really like it's something real, you know, for you. It's nothing more real than this stuff, kind of. Hello, angels of the Renaissance. I'm okay. How are you? Так. Let's see. I don't have more funny memes. So it's kind of like this. So let's share your comments, questions, feedback. And I'm glad to read it. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. I hope. Yeah, tomorrow we'll try to do stream again. Так.
Madness. This is
Jane Bond Art.